Well, so yeah, also Dragon Ball Sparking Zero came out this week. It had a 3-day early access period. I didn't start playing until Friday.
Okay.
Because just I kind of forgot about the 3-day early access period, and then I was like, I'm a couple days away. I can wait. I can wait like 3 days and not pay like 30 extra bucks to pay it for or play it for 2 days.
I mean, at that point, you might as well.
But yeah, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. It's the spiritual successor to the Tenkaichi games, essentially, and it's a lot of fun. The story mode is fucking weird.
I saw something about that because I saw a screenshot of someone's like, the Vegeta fight in the Saiyan saga changes a lot when Goku goes Super Saiyan.
I've seen that. Okay, so first off, when you play the if you go through the story mode,
Okay.
it is a very fast-paced mode.
Okay.
So like Saiyan Saga is like 2 or 3 fights.
Just the main fights, I assume.
It's like Raditz,
Nappa.
Rabbit, Raditz. I think you do a Nappa fight. Then it's Vegeta into Great Ape Vegeta, and then you're on to the Namek Saga.
Damn. Okay.
But and the reason they do that is when you go to story mode, you select to play it from Goku's perspective.
Okay.
And then you can play it. It's like then you play through the story. There's a different like story mode, or it's basically you play. I assume you play through the story. I haven't played anybody else's yet.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters that you can pick to play their perspective of.
Interesting.
And the other thing is there are during parts of the story mode, you get a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you basically get a play it as it happened, or
A what
do it-
if?
or what if scenario. So like the first one is very simply like when you go to fight Raditz, do you take Piccolo with you or do you do it by yourself?
Okay.
So you can just say, no, I want to do it by myself and see what happens. And then if you beat it, I think there's conditions to those fights where it's like you have to beat it a certain way or within a certain time limit or something like that.
So if you pull it off, does it change the story at all? Actually.
Some of it does. I haven't noticed too many of them yet.
Okay.
I'm assuming I may not have met the condition. Also, sometimes the fights just end. And I haven't quite understood it. Some of the ones I've been doing, like in the Boo Saga, or not the Boo Saga, the Super Saga,
Okay.
the fight just kind of ends.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's a time limit or if like it's a survive thing or a time limit or get into a health threshold. But some of them just end, and I'm like, oh, I guess I won.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a very accelerated pace. But yeah, with some of the, I assume with each character, you kind of get a couple what if choices along the way. And there's a story map where like you, for each saga it'll go to. And if there's a place where you can make a choice, you can go back and select that one to play that mission. And like you can see a branching path.
Gotcha.
So it's pretty clear where some of these choices could happen. You can go back and kind of replay that.
I just find it very entertaining, the whole fact of just Goku's point of view. I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of the stories very, very short all of a sudden.
Yeah, like the Cell Saga was like
Because he's dead most of that saga.
Cell Saga was 2 fights.
Yeah, because Goku's dead most of that saga.
Yeah, it was like I fought Cell and then I fought a Cell Junior and that was it. But yeah, the story mode's kind of interesting. There are some very steep like difficulty spikes. I don't know if you've seen it. Great Ape Vegeta has been memed on like fucking crazy.
Just because of how hard it is?
It is. Once you kind of figure out an easy way to do it, it's very easy.
Okay.
But initially, that fight is fucking hard. There's a few times where like I was playing it, and I'm like, what is this supposed to be a Dragon Ball game? What am I over getting my shit tossed for? Great Ape Vegeta. I mean, I figured that one out in like two attempts.
Okay.
So like, because the first time I fought him, he kind of just rushed at me and beat me down before I could do anything.
Yeah.
The second time I fought him, I got some space, and it's like I got some space between us charged up, and I've just like dodge his beam attacks and then hit him with like Kamehamehas and stuff like that.
Okay.
Just wore him down over time.
You just kited a big ape.
Yeah, basically just kited him around, and it became super easy. Frieza was a sharp difficulty spike for me. That one, essentially, there's a few fights where they kind of just rush you down, and their
Okay.
beam attacks do a lot of damage. The other thing with it is, this game is less focused on offense, or everybody has a lot of offense,
Okay.
basically. This game is super deep for combat.
Really?
Yes, anybody that's picking this game up, and the first thing I recommend you doing is go to the tutorial options and play through every tutorial that they have. It is incredibly deep. Like I mean, a lot of the combat or a lot of the mechanics kind of go back to some of the old Dragon Ball games and stuff, where guarding, it's not just hold the guard button. You can just hold the guard button. You can guard low, guard high,
Yeah.
guard middle. Timing your guard with like when a basic attack is like a basic combo attack is going to hit you. You vanish behind them. There's also different types of counters.
Mm-hmm.
They have a thing called perception, which is its own type of counter, essentially.
Okay.
They have there's normal counters, there's revenge counters, there's super counters, there's vanishing attacks. This combat is very deep.
I mean, god dang, yeah. For a 3D fighter, yeah. A Dragon Ball fighter at that.
Yeah, because it's like I was getting my ass kicked for a while. I went and I started doing all the tutorials, and then there's a very noticeable difference from knowing that you can do this stuff and just mashing.
Yeah.
Because even like I'm missing a lot of the timings right now because I'm just starting to like try to learn them. Immediately you notice a difference,
Okay.
and it very much starts to look like an actual anime fight,
A Dragon Ball fight.
where like attacks are being thrown out and you're vanishing back. Like in the show, there's like sometimes when you see it from like the people in the streets perspective, where they just see the vanishes and the stuff
Yeah.
happening in the sky. It's kind of like that, where like attacks will be being thrown out and you're vanishing back and forth over and over and over again, and then you end up landing a counter and do a beam attack or something like that. Very, very cool combat system. They went in with it, and from what I've seen, people are very much appreciating how much there is to the combat
I
system.
mean, that would actually be very nice compared. Because just thinking about like the last time I played a Dragon Ball fighter game, I mean, it was fairly standard for what we were used to for a Dragon Ball game. You could just mash to get through everything.
Yeah, I mean, and you can mash. You can mash and have a good time.
Yeah.
And it's like you can kind of mash your way through the story if you want to, because there is a mode called sparking mode. It's essentially when you charge up all of your key bars. That's another thing. If you charge up all of your key bars and you have a skill point,
Okay.
then you can essentially overcharge your key to go into sparking mode. Then your basic attack combo string just continuously goes. You don't like knock them off in the distance. It's just a constant.
Oh, it just
flurry.
becomes an infinite?
It's just a constant flurry of blows during that, and you unlock when you're in sparking mode. You have your ultimate beam attack available, or your ultimate attack available. But yes, and there's essentially skill bars as well, which is next to your normal health bar and key bars, and some of the things like some of the various types of counters in the game only work if you have like one or two of those bars available, and it uses those.
Okay.
So kind of combat also has some resource management built into it as well.
Which I feel like they took a little bit of that from Fighter Z, because didn't Fighter Z have like a couple resources? Like I knew it had the like Shinron Dragon Balls, which you could somehow collect during the fight, which would allow you to do some stuff.
They probably took some inspiration from kind of everywhere that they could
Yeah.
for it. But yeah, combat, the actual fighting mechanics of the game are very fun. And the more you kind of lean into it, because at first I was mashing, now I'm trying to actually learn some of the combat
Yeah.
systems, and like I said, immediately rewarding to start using them. And then the other thing is as you play through the story or play online matches and that, you gain experience towards your player level, and you gain money, which is zenny in the game. And then there's a shop in the game where you can
Buy outfits.
you can buy you can unlock outfits in the shop. You also unlock outfits as you play through the various story modes. But you can unlock them early if you want to. You can unlock characters with money. You can unlock, and this is like in-game money. And you can unlock equipment for your character, because each character has like some equipment slots where you can put on there for an extra key bar or rush attacks doing more damage.
Okay,
or
so you
something
can
like
spec
that.
out characters.
So it's like you can kind of spec them out and you can unlock those in there. You can unlock background music. Most of the stuff like characters, outfits and stuff, if you played through all the instances of the story,
Yeah,
you would be able to unlock.
but you can unlock them early if you
But
want.
you can unlock them early. And then as your player level progresses, more characters and more stuff shows up in the shop.
You know, John, all I can think now is with this whole story mode is seeing as you get like what if choices for characters. All I can imagine now is what are Krillin's what if choices?
I haven't gone there yet. But when I was playing a little bit earlier today, I went to the shop and I unlocked a few characters that I wanted to try out.
Okay.
And then I was kind of just playing, like going into like free battle and
Yeah.
or like single battle and just playing around with them, getting used to them. Unlike Bardock, I've always liked playing as Bardock. And then I forget the name of the other character I unlocked. But yeah, kind of just playing around with them, getting a feel for them. Because if I got to where I wanted to play online has a couple different modes.
Okay.
It has like single battle mode where like I
One
would
and
pick
done?
a character, you would pick a character, we go in and we fight.
Okay.
Then they have another mode, which is you can pick up to 5 characters, but each character, like you have a limited number of points to spend,
Okay.
and characters cost a certain number of points. So
Okay.
more powerful characters can cost up to like 10 points.
Okay.
So you can either spread that out and get like 5 characters, because I think you have like it's 12 or 15 points to spend. So you can get like 5 3-point characters or something like that, or you can get a 10-point character and like 2 1-points or something like that. Which I haven't gone into that mode yet, but it seems kind of crazy that
I assume it's just fight until all your characters drop, I guess.
yeah, you would fight until you were out of characters. And there is a switching mechanic, which I think switching and transforming might cost. Yeah, I think that you have to have like skill points to be able to do that,
Gotcha.
which they build up over the match. But yeah, there's like you can like if you wanted to go into a match as base form Goku, you could go in with Goku and then just transform your way up, or you could just transform or fuse. It like if you could fuse mid match as long as like people on your team are available for the fusion, which it tells you beforehand who like when you click a character or select one, it'll tell you who you would need to select to be able to activate certain fusions.
Gotcha.
So yeah, there's a lot more to this game than I was expecting. The story mode, I mean, granted, I've played through the story mode in every Dragon Ball game ever made.
Yeah.
But it is weird playing through a very advanced form of the story mode where it's like, okay, well, I'm used to playing all of the Saiyan saga into the Namek saga into Frieza and that. And it's like, no, I'm doing like 2 or 3 fights and we're moving on because that's the character that I have.
Because you're just doing the viewport of Goku, which makes the series a lot funnier.
Yeah, but then like the other you can play from like I said, there's a massive list of people that you can play through it as. You can play through it as like Gohan. I think you can play through it from Frieza's perspective.
Interesting.
So it's like several like you could play through. I don't know how many there are exactly, but you play through each different person's perspective. Chiatsu's a playable character. I don't know if he has his own story mode. Which I haven't tried him yet, but from what I've heard, like for ranked matches and stuff, very point efficient character.
I bet he is.
Because apparently, he may not be the best character there is, but his point value apparently is a bit underrated.
Really? Okay. That's sort of surprising, seeing as Chiatsu's never really ever gotten love.
But yeah, it's a game I haven't put a whole ton of time into yet, but...
Question.
Yeah, go for it.
And this goes all the way up to Super, right?
Yeah, I'm currently in Super with Goku.
Okay.
And I've looked at the character list, and yeah, it at least goes through Tournament of Power.
Gotcha.
Because there's characters that only appear in the Tournament of Power on that list.
Okay.
And then there more characters will be coming
At some point.
They already have a season pass and everything. But yeah, it's been fun so far. I've been having a blast with it, and I do appreciate because one of the annoying things in some of these Dragon Ball games in the past has been unlock conditions for characters.
Yeah.
So far, every character that I've unlocked has just been you play a story. Some of them don't make sense when I unlock them.
Okay.
Like I did the Buu saga with Goku, and I unlocked Oob.
Okay.
And he never appeared in the story.
I was going to say, I don't think Goku has anything to do with Oob in that saga.
No, it's just because it jumps from there to Super. So it's like, well, this is the only time he would be mentioned, really. So it unlocked him, and I'm like, I don't understand why I got that character there.
Okay.
And it's like and like Yajirobe, I don't know why I unlocked him on the mission I did.
The fact that you can play as Yajirobe is sort of wild to me.
But yeah, it's like some of the characters don't necessarily make sense when I get them because I'm like, okay, well, I didn't see that character in that mission, but okay. But the fact that also a lot of the characters are just available to purchase, where it's like, here, go buy them. It's like because you get a shitload of the money.
I mean, I bet.
And they're cheap. The characters are cheap.
It's in-game currency. I mean, why not?
So it's like you do a mission and you go buy a character or buy a couple characters. So the fact that purely if you just wanted to do battle, I assume if you went to online battle you can just play as anybody.
Okay.
Or maybe you do have to unlock the character. I don't know. You wouldn't know how to play him if you just went online with him though.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to practice with him, you have to unlock him, it's nice that some of the characters are there. And it's like, okay, well, I want to play as this character. So yeah, I'll just buy him here. And like I said, as you play through the story and kind of level up or do online and get player levels, more characters show up in that shop.
Okay. Overall, how would you rate it?
Overall, very surprisingly good. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, pick it up.
Yeah.
If you're not a Dragon Ball fan, if you're just if you're an anime arena fighter fan, I'd say pick it up.
You can't be disappointed with with this one versus all the other arena fighters.
Yeah, and if it's if if you tend to like arena fighters in general, this one's got a really good combat system you might enjoy.